Hey everyone, Vlad here with Trader Foundation. So today I have one of our clients, Jessica here, and we're going to be discussing how she went from going through a crazy day trading situation where she was constantly losing money to finally getting some consistency on a weekly basis with some profits. And but you know what? I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here, so let me introduce Jessica first. Jessica, let's kick it off with this. Could you please briefly kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, Vlad. Thank you for having me.
How you doing?
I was a little nervous about taking your course because I felt very intimidated by it because I had lost money. But then after talking to you and after realizing there was a lot of knowledge I was missing, and after taking your classes and gaining the knowledge, understanding, the fundamentals, the technicals, looking at the volume, understanding the lags in some of the indicators, such as the fast stochastics, and understanding the importance of MACD, what it means when there's a crossing. It gave me a lot more confidence. And then having the option to place option trades, which have always intimidated me and scared me, gave me more confidence. In the first week, I turned a $4,000 account into a $5,000 account.
Not a bad return. So I know you traded before. You said you've done a lot of day trading and other type of things. Can you tell us a little bit what you did before and what happened?
It was mostly day trading and swing trading. There was more swing trading there, but I was unsure as to when to buy, when to sell. A lot of times I would get caught up in the pump and dump. I wouldn't act quick enough. I was kind of following what I thought was the best thing to do. I looked at stock tweets, tried to understand the analysis. I was doing research, but the way that I was going about doing the research was really not effective. And what wanted me to take your class was to understand and make their motives are. You don't know how accurate their information is.
Yeah. Yeah, and I hear that a lot actually. A lot of people still try to do the social media thing, trying to listen to other people. What kind of frustration did you feel when people make a call and they swear by this is the one, and then all of a sudden it kind of goes the other direction?
I've felt kind of heartbroken, and it's just a lot of disappointment. So by understanding how I can make those decisions for myself, it increased my confidence level, and then being able to invest in options, which I never felt comfortable, never felt confident enough to do on my own. And doing that, it really not only allowed me to start bringing in additional income, but it also increased my confidence and increased my awareness and my ability to pick stocks for myself instead of using someone else's opinion, and being able to screen the stocks and how to set the screener so that I can find certain stocks within my criteria and stocks that have a good probability of going up versus going down. So it's been a very high confidence booster, and the success I've had has, made me extremely happy.
Oh, awesome! I appreciate that. Are you? Where did you hear about us?
From Facebook.
So like an ad?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And what exactly? I know you were very hesitant to go into the class originally. What kind of tipped you over the edge to actually try it?
It was you, because you didn't push. A lot of times when people are selling things, you were more if we got to make sure this is the right fit for you. I want to make sure you're going to put in the time that you're supposed to put into it. I want to make sure that you are not just going to let it be something that is just here today, gone tomorrow. The fact that you were concerned about my commitment, the fact that you also asked what days we're working out a schedule. I was able to ask you questions. You were very candid and you weren't afraid to share information with me when I did ask, because I wanted to make sure that it was going to be the right thing for me to do at the time. But because you answered all my questions and you stayed on the phone with me as long as, I think it was an hour, until, I felt confident, even though, I should have gone ahead and done it within the within the first 10 minutes, but you were very patient. You stayed on the phone. You answered all my questions. You made sure I understood how the class works, the process works, the ins and outs as to what I would be learning, what I would be understanding. Also, that there was the requirement to do homework, which I felt was a very good thing, because it would make sure that I would understand it, because that was part of my concern was, well, what if he's not a good teacher? But because there was homework involved and you mentioned that you would review it, go over it, I knew that there would be opportunity for me to make sure I had clarification on the points that I did not understand.
And let me tell you, you're always really good at the homework. You are one of the best, man. Always look legit. That's awesome. So who do you think would be a good fit for this program?
Everybody that wants to build income on top of what they already have, anyone that wants to save for, whether it's their children, save for themselves. It's a good way to have a kind of a mid-term investment, because everyone should have retirement, but I think on top of it, make whatever sacrifices is needed. Don't go out to eat as much. Cut back on, spending a little bit so that they can invest and watch their money grow, because a lot of times people are spending in the best way, and you listen to a lot of millionaires or billionaires, the thing that they say that you should invest in is yourself. And there's a lot of truth in it, because they would not be where they were had they not invested in themselves. So I think that's the best thing to do, is invest in yourself. And by doing this, you're not only doing it for yourself, you're doing it for your family, but it's something that you also control.
Mm-hmm. That's great. So why should someone who's listening to this take action now instead of just waiting?
Well, it comes back to the present value of money. If you wait, you lose that time, you lose the opportunity for the money to grow. It's better to go ahead and do it now. It's better to go ahead and obtain the understanding. It's always best to take action now, because what is procrastination going to do? People might allow self-doubt to come in, and in this, there is no reason or there should be no room for doubt. It should be, you just step on it now, you go, because the more you put into yourself, the more you're going to get out of it.
Gotcha. Cool. And what is your number one piece of advice for people who are really trying to attain financial freedom?
Invest in themselves. Take this class.
Awesome, man. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, man, you definitely put in the work. I know you're still doing the work and everything. I know you already had a pretty good week. I believe you made $1,300 on one of your first initial week. So that's awesome. That's really, really cool. And I'm glad you're sharing all this with us. Do you have any other final thoughts that you want to share with us?
One of the hardest things for me is when you see these Facebook ads, because when you have referrals, people are on the up and up. And that was, I had a little bit of concern with that, because you don't know if people are on the up and up, but it's not a program where you go and watch some videos and you're not there. Every single time I had a question or a concern, you were there. I called you, you answered. If you didn't answer, it was, I'll call you back by such and such a time, and you always call me back before then. If I sent you a text message, I received a response each and every time, super fast. To the fact that, it's granted, our contact was initialized through Facebook, but I had that constant, I was able to reach out and touch you in a sense. I was able to have that constant feedback, the reassurance when I did get stuck on a problem and I didn't want to wait until you reviewed the homework. I knew that the resource was there. You were always readily available. And the other is you truly were concerned. You truly care. You truly make us feel important because we are. And that was the key thing for me, is because I knew if I needed you, I could reach out and get whatever it was I needed. And that was the biggest thing, because a lot of people don't do that. That's missing in whether it's businesses, personal relationships. That is so key, because the trust that I had was immediately built and retained.
Well, I appreciate that. Excuse me. Well, I appreciate that. Definitely. Thank you so much. I mean, and you bring up a good point. Nothing can replace the human element.
Yes.
No matter how many machines we have, and I'm glad that you were able to benefit from that. Definitely. And it's been a pleasure working with you, and I want to continue working with you, obviously. So, Jessica, I really appreciate it. What was that?
I said it's been a pleasure working with you as well.
Well, thank you. I definitely appreciate your time, and thank you. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who are going to definitely benefit from your story and just kind of relate, because I will tell you, I do talk to a lot of people, and they are stuck with whether it's day trading techniques that don't work, or they're just chasing, or just watching the news, trying to hope, or social media. It happens so much these days, and all people want is just be able to have some financial freedom and have a peace of mind. So seeing people like you getting that is really helping a lot of others really make that move. So I really appreciate your time today, and I'm looking forward to continuing working with you.
Me too. Thank you.
Talk to you later.